everyone, welcome back. I know we've all had a long winter season, especially for those of you that live in the Northeast, you know what I'm talking about. We've had tons of snow and cold weather, and we're all looking forward to the spring-like weather. Spring is just fastly approaching us, but why not bring it sooner into your home by having some beautiful bouquet decorations around your house? I found nice floral bouquets that you can find in your local supermarket or flower shops, and you can make wonderful flower arrangements to decorate your home. Here I have some flowers that I bought from Trader Joe's. I love their flowers. They're beautiful, inexpensive, and last a very long time. I found that with proper care and fresh water and fresh food, their flowers can last up to 2 weeks. Here I have some hydrangeas in white. They come in all different types of colors. These are novelty tulips. Tulips are definitely in season right now because of the spring season that's coming up. I also have some African roses that I'll show you how to make into this really cute little bouquet, as well as these Astromera bouquets that come in a variety of colors. They come in violet, sort of a pinkish shade, white, and I also have these wax flowers that I'm going to use to sort of decorate in between any of these bouquets. And these are used similar to how you would use baby's breath. So the items that you're going to need to make the bouquet is you're going to need water, fresh clean water, and a variety of different vases. Now I took just a bunch of vases I've laying around. Also brought some glass jars that are not vases. Definitely you can use anything that you think you like and are decorative. These are mason jars that I found to be very cute, and you can definitely use this to hold your flowers. This was actually a little milk jar that I just sort of cleaned out, and you can definitely use to hold your flowers as well. And this is just a glass jar, a glass drinking cup that you can also use to hold your flower, which I have done here, as you can see. Then you're going to need some shears to cut your flower ends to the length that you want. You want a stick so we can stir the flower food into the water. Okay, so let's get started. I think let's get started with these beautiful hydrangeas. Hydrangeas are wonderful. They come in a variety of colors. They look small initially when you buy them, but once you put them into the vase and they sit there for a few hours, you actually see them start opening up and blooming. And I found that they, with proper care, with fresh clean water and flower food, they actually last pretty long time in my house. So what you're gonna do is get a vase. I'm gonna use this one. It has a larger white mouth on top and it's a bit taller, and I filled it up with some clean fresh water. Now what you're gonna do is take the flower plant that comes with the bouquet. Okay, so the ones that I buy from Trader Joe's actually comes with these flower food, and they're definitely good to have to put in there. They make the flowers last longer. So you're gonna cut it open and then drop it into your bowl. Then you're gonna take your stick and just mix it into the water. Let it dissolve. Okay? And you wanna take one of your flowers and basically measure to see how tall you want it to sit in your vase. Now I have one here that has been cut to the length of where I think I want it to sit in my vase. So I'm just gonna take this and take the one that I'm gonna cut now and basically cut it to the same height. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same for the rest of these. You're gonna just line them up and just cut it. And same thing with this. I'm gonna cut it. Now the trick to flower arrangements too is you want to make sure that you take off any excess leaves, because you don't want it sitting in there and it's going to be sitting inside the water, because the leaves will actually create like a film in the water that makes the water dirtier, and your flowers will not last that long. So take off any of the excess leaves that are sitting on the bottom. Another trick with long-lasting flower is once you've cut the ends, you want to take either a hammer or sort of anything that is you can use to basically, what you want to do is sort of break up the ends of the stem. And the reason why we're doing this is so that the water can be absorbed easily by the flowers. This basically opens up the bottom and allows the water to sort of be absorbed by the stems. So we're just going to start arranging them into the vase. And then what I'm going to do is take some of these wax flowers and perhaps maybe put them in between some of these. I'm just going to see how they look, maybe trim it a little bit because it's sort of too tall right now. I'm just gonna maybe put some of these in between here to sort of kind of bring that to life. And basically this one is pretty much done. Again, the bouquet itself actually looks, the flower itself actually looks small, but once they've been sitting in the water, they will start to bloom and expand, and you'll see how beautiful they look. So I'm going to start making the next bouquet with these Alströmera bouquets. I'm going to make it so that it actually becomes like a round bouquet shape, that normally like the ones that you find in florist shops, where they're sort of in a nice rounded shape. I'm going to use this little vase and cut it to size and show you how to make the arrangement. So now we're going to take these flowers and put into a votive that we've just filled with water and plant food. You're going to start by just laying one on one side, and they're not going to stand up straight, which is fine, and then laying another one on the other side. The attempt here is to make it into 4 quadrants. So you're going to have one flower on each side of the vase. And it could be any color that you want. Okay, so now that we have 4, we're going to start building it up. And I'll show you how to do that. You're going to take another flower and insert it in between the 2 flowers doesn't matter where, but between any of the 2 flowers that you already have in your vase. So I'm going to take this sort of pinkish white one and position it here. Okay, and then I'm going to take another pink white one and then position it on this side, but I think this one is a bit too tall, so I'm going to just cut that down a little bit. And then you take another one and actually take one from the bouquet and cut it down to size. I'm just going to take one that I already put down to size and just measure it. Okay. So now you're going to put this in to that little space there.
Oh.
So after you've arranged all your flowers and place it all in, it should basically look like this. And I think, you know, it looks wonderful. It looks very beautiful. It looks what you would find at a florist shop. And again, these were just inexpensive flowers that I bought from Trader Joe's. The next flower arrangement I want to show you is how to make these African roses, and we can basically put it into a little vase. What I'm going to do is choose this little square vase to put my flowers in. So this is the flower I have here. I'm going to cut it down to size. And again, we're going to fill up the container with some water. Pretty much all the way up, but not to the top because we don't want it spilled. And then you're going to take another one of these little packets containing the flower food and just drop them in there. I'm going to put the entire thing inside, even though it is a small vase, because roses are very delicate flowers and they require a lot of water and food. You gotta be careful with these because they tend to have these thorns and they can hurt. So what I'm gonna do is just, again, remove any of the excess leaves and cut it down to size. So what I like to do is just kind of eyeball it and measure it to the size I want. And you always want to cut less than more because you can always trim later. And I just like to put it in and see how they sort of lay out and look. So again, taking off the excess leaves. And then you're going to take the one that you just cut, line them up next to the one you're going to cut, and basically just cut them to the same size. And we're just going to keep cutting all these till we have all of them the same height. So once you have your roses cut to size, we're going to start arranging them. So we're going to put one flat down, and the next one next to each other, and then you're going to put one right next to the one you have in the middle. And then we're going to start building this on top. So you're going to start layering this on top of the different roses that you have. Okay. And then once you have a layer, you're going to hold it tightly and then into your hand. And at this point, you're going to arrange it to how you like it, and basically also arrange the leaves. Again, you want to take off any excess leaves because we don't want that sitting into the water. Okay. Once you have this all nicely basically arranged, you're going to take a rubber band and we're going to tie the bottom so it's kind of bundled together. So this basically holds it in place. Now, because you have it in place, you can basically arrange it to how you like it. And we're going to now just have it in the water. As you can see, it's still a little bit too tall. So what I'm going to do is just trim off a little extra. Again, don't trim off too much. A little at a time would be best. And I just want it so that it kind of sits a little bit above where the where it's going to touch the top of the vase. And I think I could trim off just a tad bit more. And then you kind of want to just fan them out a little. So kind of have that loose look. And then what I like to do is take a little bit of these wax flowers and then just cut off some of the stems and kind of just insert them in between to give them a little extra color. I'm just going to cut off these. I'm going to just stick them in. And there you have it. I think these look very pretty. So the last flower arrangement I'm going to make are these novelty tulips. Again, tulips are in season now because of the upcoming spring season. I actually found a trick while watching one of Martha Stewart's video, which was how to arrange tulip flowers. Now, tulips come in all different colors, shapes, and sizes. These tulips, as you'll see, some of them, if you can see, are shaped where it's leaning more towards one side. You can see some of these are more angular to one side. And you'll find that some of them are just grown straight up. The trick to arranging tulip is putting the tulips that are more angular first at the bottom. So depending on the direction that they're facing. So this one is more facing towards the left. I'm just gonna place it down on the table where it's facing towards left, and then the right one, this one's facing towards the right, I'm gonna put it right next to the one towards the left. And then what you're gonna start to do is to build the flower like you did with the roses. Again, the one that's more facing towards the right, I'm gonna put on the right side. And the ones that are more angular towards the left, we're gonna put towards the left side. Now the ones that are straight up, what we're gonna start doing is to place them in the middle. Okay, so this one is a little bit more angular towards the left, so I'm gonna put that towards the left side. The ones again that are straight up, we're gonna just place them right up on top towards the middle. Again, this one looks a little bit like it's leaning right, so I'm gonna put it towards the right side. And this is a little bit straight, angular. I'm gonna put it more on the right side, and this is straight, so I'm gonna put them up in the middle. So once you have all this lined up, you want to take it into your hands and make sure that it's to your liking. What you want to do is now start to twist the bottom stems to all sort of going towards one direction. And then you're going to take your rubber band and then tie up on the bottom. And this one, you actually want to tie it so it's a bit tighter. I'm going to do about 3 loops of the rubber band. And I'm going to sort of bring the rubber band towards the top. Okay. And again, what you want to do is sort of arrange it so the stems are kind of all facing sort of this angular direction. Okay. And then once you're satisfied with how it looks, I'm going to bring some of these flowers up because they're a bit shorter. I'm actually going to put another piece of rubber band more on top so it holds the tulip in place. Because tulip tend to sort of like to wilt and kind of fall down because they're a bit heavy. So I'm going to just put another set of rubber band up on top here. And again, just kind of arrange it so that the stems are going into one direction. And you want to cut a little bit off the bottom so again it absorbs the water and the food. And maybe just break up the stems a little bit. And then take your vase and then just place them into the flower. Place the flower into the wall. And there you have it.
Good.
So this is the finished product on the novelty tulip. What I did was I added some wax flowers that I had left over, and I think it complements the tulip. Again, these are all different types of arrangements I made. Here are the hydrangeas, the roses, and then the 2 little bouquets I made. They were just very inexpensive. I got all these bouquets at, you know, your local grocery store. I found them at Trader Joe's, and their flowers actually last very long. So I hope you go out and try to make a bouquet for yourself. You can either make it and give it to a friend, or just make it and put it into your home to just decorate your house with beautiful flowers. Thanks for watching.